let's explain the user interface of Easy Animator Pro. As you can see, every button is animated and pretty much explains what the button does. And also you've got help tips here, so you know what your clicks do. There are too much functions, so you can create almost anything you like. So let's begin with the text. First off, I would like to create a text layer. So here, with my simple click, I will create a text layer. Now we can use the text animator, which is 4 types of animator. Let's quickly apply the text snapper, and as you can see, it will apply the effect and you can animate it, and I will go in-depth tutorials here how to animate the text. Let's remove this one, delete. I will remove the text animation preset. Then we've got the bouncer preset, which I will right click, and here again all the same parameters here, and as you can see now this text will bounce, and I will go in depth again. I will remove this one too, and now we've got, with the middle click, we can have a cool text marquee loop, and as you can see it says we need to select a text layer. So I will select this text layer and I will apply it. It already applied, and by simply adding a marker, as you can see, we can have this cool type. Let's add some more so you can see what happens. Wherever you've got your marker, your text will do whatever parameters you type. And as you can see, you can use it as many times as you like with this marker. Let's delete this one too from the layer. I will select the layer and I will remove the text marker preset. And let's remove all keyframe, all markers too. Next we've got the keys, which we can apply with left click and shift, and this one has some keyframes here. Let's drag them, for example, to the beginning and to the end. You don't have to, but I will do this for the example. And now again I will add a quick animator here, and as you can see my animation happens based on my easing here, which you can also adjust by moving these easing markers, and as you can see now you've got this kind of animation, and if I snap it a little bit you can have a cool snapping animation. This is pretty much your graph editor, and you will use this as many times as you like. So let's make this snapping because I like the snapping, and again the animation is procedural to your in and out points. So let's remove this one too, and let's go to the next stage, which is the motion. Let's now quickly add an asset. Let's use this the Easy Animator logo. Okay, I will drag it inside the comp and scale it to wherever I like. So in this example, let's hide this layer. In this example you see nothing happens, so I will click and I will add a motion preset. Now again nothing happens, but you've got the same principle here. You can drag this down, and if you come to the beginning of the text, as you can see, you can also add some rotations and stuff, and your text will happen in this way. Also you can have the opacity, and this works with any text layer, with any layer basically, even composition or shape layer or anything you like. So again, the duration is adjustable by simply dragging your layers in and out points. Let's use this one for the animation out too. Let's make it go up. Basically, if we are in the out point, we can see a representation of where our text will be in the end, like so. And now we've got a cool animation. Also, I will remove this one now, remove motion animation preset, and let's add it the same with the right click, which is a motion bouncer. Now you can come here and you simply play with the preset wherever you like, the best way, like so. And for the out, let's make this go up. Let's go to the end of the out point of the layer, and let's make this to go up. As you can see, again I'm working in full resolution, like so, and if we come here it will go up. Also they blend really well. As you can see, you don't notice where the transition happens here. Okay, and I will remove this one too. Remove Motion Animator preset. Also, we've got this cool shift click, so this will create a parent based on your layer. So if we click it and we shift click, now we've got this layer parented to a null with the same name, and all the animation properties are on the null. So now if we come here, you can see the animation happens to a null. This is great because if you have, for example, your text here, your footage here, and then you want it to animate, your null will help it very much. Same applies for the bouncer null. Next, we've got the transition button. I will open again my footages and let's drag this one, this image here, and let's drag another one. Let's add this one too. And now we've got two images. The first one, let's hide this layer too. Okay. Now let's trim the layers to wherever we like them, like so. And as you can see here, let me scale it up and rasterize. So in this example, as you can see, we can add a simple transition here, right about here. We simply click our transition button and now we've got this transition happen, like so. But in this case, we want a reverse scale, for example. And now we zoom in to the store. Also, you can remove the lights and stuff. You can go as far as you want. I will go in-depth tutorials on every parameter. Let's remove them too because we don't need them. And let's remove these two again. Now next, we've got this Pro and Noob. So let's create again the text layer. And as you may notice, I'm on the Pro, and you can see here our animation in and out values are still here. Now if I click the Noob version and then again apply the effect, you can see I've got only one animation value. This is great because sometimes you need your text to be animated really quickly. So let's add the position, and you can see this one goes in and again it goes away. Now if you want it to go from the top, you come here and you simply reverse it, and this will reverse your animation. Also, we can go to the negative out, so it will go away just the way it go in. Now, I'm very quick in this, but I hope you can keep up. Same applies for the motion snapper. Let's again import our quick logo here. Let's scale it down, like so. And now we can add a Noob Motion Animator by simply clicking. Again, same principles here. You can open this. Let's make this like so. And now, as you can see, in the end, we don't have to animate nothing. We can simply animate it like this. Again, now let's use the cool feature from here. We've got the extra mover presets. So let's again delete all the Motion Animator presets and let's add this cool extra mover. So I will click on it, and as you can see, again, nothing happens. But same as the text, we can simply click and add the marker, and now our text will become like this. I'm sorry for the text. Our layer will have this animation. Also here, you can adjust if you want the ease or the scale. Let's make the amplitude to 0, and now you can see no scale, only rotation, because we are using this rotation. And I will go in depth for everyone so you get the most of the templates. Of course, you can combine them, and you've got the shift click, which will create this on a parent null. Again, I will click and remove this Motion Animator, and let's shift click it, and we see, sorry, let's right click so we can adjust it, right, so and now we can have the null to get the marker. So I will delete this one, so you can see that everything works pretty much perfect. Next, we've got the squash and stretch, which is a little bit more advanced effect. Let's add this square here, and let's make this like so. Now, as you can see, we can shift click to apply the squash snapper. So I will click And as you can see here, might seem overwhelming at the beginning, but you will understand that it's very easy. So now let's make a cool animation. Let's drag this to the right, and it will come right here. But you will see now we've got a cool effect here. If we come wherever the animation happens and click the easy squash in, we can simply create a cool squash animation like so. And now our layer gets this cool squash, as you may see. Same for the animation out. Let's create an animation out. Let's make this to go back wherever it came, like so. And now again, around where the animation happens here, we go to the easy squash out, and we simply drag this, for example, like so. We can be very creative here. And now we've got a cool animation. Let's adjust the duration so it is a little bit faster. And as you can see, this kind of stuff happens. Let's create a cool... Okay. Same, if we want to use a bouncer animation, we shift and right click, and this squash now is in bouncer mode. So you will see now what happens. Let's say we want the animation to come from here, from the top. Let's make the opacity to 0, and now it drops. Okay, so we can click the squash in, and let's drag this up right so. Let's come to a point where the animation happens, like so. And now you will see that our animation is like this. Then we've gone for the out. Let's say we want it to go again up. And let's play with the squash animators. Okay, now we've got too much of position. Let's make this minus 300 so we are on the same page. Okay, and now we can adjust the squash out. Let's say we want the power to come from the end, and as you can see, it will go out and go in again. This is a really cool feature from the updated Easy Animator Pro. Next, let's delete this layer too. We've got these responsive keyframes and responsive duration and bake expressions to keyframes, which are self-explanatory. So let's create a simple animation. So I will create a simple animation. Let's add some position keyframes right here, and let's say we want it to begin from this point. And now we want to come to the center. As you can see, our linear animation. Let's click and with the shift, let's make this snapping, like so. Maybe adjust a little bit the duration. Okay, now for the out, let's again add a keyframe here. Now let's make this go to the other way. Now we can make this animation responsive by clicking this button, but before we do this, we need to have our work area from the beginning to the end. So if we click our layer and we click this, now you can see our keyframe move to the end and to the beginning of the layer. And now we can have our animation responsive duration. As you can see here, we can have this cool effect, and we can ignore the keyframes at all. Next, we've got the responsive duration for the right clicks. So now I will again delete this layer and create a new one. And let's make this again a quick animation. Let's hit P. Let's make this from here to here. And again, we come like so. I will copy this keyframe and paste it, and I will go to the other side. Again, let's click all the keyframes and make them snap, like so. And now we can simply trim our composition, either by clicking here with the shift click. And now you see we've got this composition. So I'll pre-compose it by simply clicking this pre-compose button. And now we can click on the right click here, and this will become responsive duration here. As you can see, the animation out and in are independent. Also, you can have this and directly right click, and this will create your composition. and you will have your responsive out and in. Now also we've got the cool bake expressions to keyframes. Again, I will delete this layer. Let's click it. And now I will create a keyframe here. Let's make this P. And let's come to this side and let's make this down. Now you can see we've got this kind of animation. Let's quickly add a bouncer controller. I will right click, and as you can see we've got this bouncer controller. Let's make the animation a little bit faster. And here we can see that we've got an expression like so. With the property selected, we can simply middle click and this will bake our keyframes wherever the animation happens. And now we have a cool, as you can see, clean baked keyframe interpolation. Next we've got the 3D and 2D toggle. I will delete this one and let's create a new text layer. Again, for example, let's create this one and this one. Now this is a really fast feature. This will make your text or any other layer render even faster than it renders here. Let's say you don't want to use a 3D from this layer. You can click it and now your animation stays the same, but the render is a little bit faster. Okay, same will happen with any footage layer. Again, let's add the cool animator here. I will add the motion animator. Come to the first. Now you can see here it already renders really fast, but we can also have a 2D and 3D interpolation here. Again, make sure you make it 3D from this switch here and not from this one. Next we can go to our cool compositions like this. Let's again now drag and drop our footage here, and we can have, for example, this first footage right here. Let's duplicate it and let's move it right here. Let's create a background so we can see what's the difference from here. And I will select these two layers. I will duplicate them again just for the tutorial. And you see I've got mixed layers here. We've got this cool pre-comp, so we can select this one and this one, for example, and we can pre-compose them by clicking this. As you can see, the duration stays the same, and within here are our two layers. Again, we can also click them all, for example, and click this composition, and it will pack them all into one. Then we can also have this cool effect, which we can, with the shift button, we'll make them on the separate composition. And then we've got the cool mask crop. So for example, we've got here, and now if we're going to middle click the mask crop, it says it works on comp layers only. So let's create a cool animation here. Let's add the position, and let's go from the outside, and then we come here, and let's come a little bit further. I will solve this layer. So now you can see we simply pre-compose it, and now here we've got this animation inside this composition, but we only need this part of the animation. I will click the mask and come to the first to see wherever it begins. Let's say somewhere around here. I'll click right so, and it ends right here. Let's adjust the mask a little bit right here, and now we can middle click, and as you can see we've cropped our composition very quickly, and in here we've got our animation. Next we've got the cool loop. So again, let's come and begin animating. Let's add the noob controller with the motion animator. So I'll create a quick animation from up to down, up, down. Let's make this 3 seconds. Okay, now we can simply pre-compose it, and we right click it, and this will loop forever. As you can see now, we've got the cycle loop, and if we click the ping pong, this will begin. and loop forever, as long as you need it to right here. So I will delete this layer too. Now we finished with the first lines, let's go to the second ones. So let's again create a text layer, a new text layer, and let's quickly add an animator here. Let's make this animator again down like this. Okay, now we've added the animation. Let's create a new text layer, and we want to copy this preset here. We want to copy this preset to this layer here. So I will click the layer I want the effect to be copied, and I will click copy, and this is a text animator preset. I will copy the text animator preset, then I click the layer I want the effect to be applied, and simply click and paste text animation preset. As you can see, we've copied our presets here and here, and now we've got the same type of animation. Next, we've got the delete, which is self-explanatory. Let's say we want to have one text layer like this. And here we will add a text marker. So we click for the middle loop, and I will add this. Now let's add some more position. So we've got the animation, we've got the marker, and the animation out. Now in this case, we want to delete, we can either delete the text animator preset, we can delete the text marker preset, or we can delete them both by clicking down shift. Of course, we've got the undo. So in this case, we want to delete only the marker preset. I will remove the marker preset, and you can see the marker removed, and it stayed only the text animator. Also, we have the option to remove all Easy Animator presets, and we are clean here. For the based on modes, let's add another animator. Let's make this again 300, and let's go to the animation out, and let's make this 300 too. Now we've got this animation here, like so, and we want to change the based on modes. So come to the first one. The first one we want it to be based on words, and as you can see, we have the based on words, and the out is based on letters in this case. Let's now make this words out too, and as you can see, we are in the words. Of course, you have the option to change the delay for the letters or the words, and now you've got a bigger delay here. So first the type, then me, and you can adjust as long as you find this pleasing. So next we have the school. I will reset and I will add again. Now we can have these anchor letters and words. I will show you what this does. So let's cancel this one. Let's add some rotation to the letters. Let's make them like so. And as you can see now, they are anchored by letters. If we come here and we click on the based on button, we can anchor them by words. And this is something cool that can happen. Also, if we make the opacity to 0, now you can see we've got some cool effects. It's up to your creativity to create something, which I will go in depth for this some of the cool features. Again, let's make this opacity 0, like this. Now let's again delete this text layer. Next you have your save and load. So if we come here and we create a new text layer again, let's make an animation. Let's make this noob animator, and I will create a quick animator here, like so. If we want to save it, we simply select the layer and click save and what we want to save. These are all the options you can save for your Easy Animator Pro. In this case, we want to save a text animation preset. Let's save it, and as you can see, it goes exactly wherever you need to be saved. Let's click save, and then your effect will get saved, and from the load button you can load your presets. In this example, I've got 2 presets to show you. So let's create a new text layer again, and let's add the kids. For example, this is a preset I saved earlier, like so, but in this preset I've got also a marker, and now you can see I created the preset and saved it. Next we've got our keyframe body. Let's create a new Easy Animator Pro layer, okay, which will work with any layer here, okay, like this. Let's delete this one, and now you can create, let's make a position, let's move this down, and now we've got this. Of course, the easing controls manage your graph editor, as you can see here, or you can move whatever you like. If you hold the shift modifier, it will bring them both. If you don't move the shift modifier, it will bring only the in and out points. So now in this case we've got this animation. Now if we want to move this, for example, in the center, if we click it and move it, you see our animation breaks. This is where keyframe body comes. Once you created your keyframes, you click this property, and then you simply left click and you apply keyframe body. Now these effects, okay, give me a second, okay, now you can apply keyframe body, and these effects, as you can see, are moved to a preset, and now you are free to move your animation wherever you like. Of course, you can animate again. If we click U, you can see our presets going here. Now let's click Shift P to reveal our position keyframes. And as you can see, now we've got this cool animation here. Let's say we want to make some cool overshoot, so we move this to before, and I will add the keyframe here, and let's select the overshoot. Let's make this, for example, once it goes down, we want to make it a little bit up first, so we've got this. Again, let's make the easing here, and now you've got this cool overshoot. And again, you can click this keyframe body and add them on top, and now you've got no keyframes on your position property, which you can also add another animator here. And now let's move this up again, and as you can see, we can continue adding keyframes and adding them to the keyframe body, like so. Let's move this a little bit up. Again, let's click the keyframe body and add them on top. Of course, you can also use the responsive duration. If we click this now, we can have this keyframe body work without keyframes, wherever we like it in our timeline. And we can move it without moving the keyframes. Of course, you need to trim the layer. Okay, next we've got from the keyframe body, we've got this cool now remove keyframes, blend, and also we've got remove keyframe body. Let's say you want to remove the third one, you simply right click on the keyframe body and it will remove it. Now let's go a little bit back, like here, and let's add some more to our keyframe body. Now you see I've removed it, but it will delete. If I delete these two keyframes, our keyframe body breaks, but we can also, let's move this up, and now we've got the cool keyframe body. Next we can add, of course, or remove it. We click here, if we right click, it will remove them and no animation will break, like so. Also we can add a bouncer preset here. Let's quickly show you this one too. And now we can middle click and we've got this bounce controller. It says please make sure select one property at a time. We need to position number one, and now we can add this one. Now as you can see, we've got this cool expression on our layer, with also the controls here, position bouncer and everything. You can adjust all the parameters you like. As you can see, the bounce amount and the decay. Let's make the decay a little bit more, and now we got okay. So this is the keyframe body Next, we've got our simple PNG, save to PNG. If we click, we can rename and save the PNG. Then we've got this composition, create a new comp, very simple. With the right click, you can adjust your current composition settings. Then we've got the anchor point, which is a very easy one. Click and you will remove your anchor point. This will move your anchor point wherever you like. Of course, this one works with Easy Animator Pro and will not break your animations. For example, I will shift click. No, I'm sorry. I will add a simple motion animator, and now if we come here to the rotation, for example, as you can see, it rotates exactly where our anchor point is, and then if we change the anchor point, it will keep this and will rotate from this side here. This is a cool anchor point, something different from the other anchor points out there. Next, we've got this text layer. As I said, it will create a text layer. Then we've got a solid layer, which will create a background layer, and with the right click, this will create an adjustment layer. If we click here, as you can see, this will create an adjustment layer on top of everything. Also, in this one, we've got explode text to shape layers. So let's create a new text layer once again. I will create this text layer here. Let's delete this. And now we can simply right click and this will explode our text layer to shape layers. So I will right click it, and as you can see, this exploded our text layer to simple layers. Let's make some smaller text for the example. Okay, and let's explode it. Right click, this will explode the text layer. Then you've got the option, also with the middle click, to create text layers to comps. So I will middle click and this will make them all compositions. And now you can also select them all, for example, and let's add a cool extra mover. Nothing happens because we don't have our markers, so if I add a marker to each one of them, they will begin jumping. If I adjust the marker to wherever I like, they will begin jumping the way we want them to. This is a really cool feature that I thought we could add. Okay, I will delete them all and let's go to the next stage. The next stage is we can, with a middle click, we can create a cool shape layer. A cool shape layer is this type of rectangle. You can have it opacity down or on. Of course, I will go in depth. I'm just showing what this does. Okay, this is a shape layer. Then we've got the trim compositions and offset layers. Let's create a really quick. Let's add some layers here and we can have them like so for this example. And if we click from the behind and we left click, you can see it offsets the layer comes in with this offset, and with the right click it negative offsets them, so you can have them like so. A simple trim compositions and offset them. Next, we've got this, with the shift we can trim the layer points. Let's come here and let's click and it will do this kind of effect. Now for the next, we've got this anchor point. So if we click it, it will create a null layer. If we have the layer selected and we click it, this will create again a null layer. And if we right click here, if we right click, this will create a null layer parented to our main layer. Our main layer will be parented to the new layer. For example, if we have an anchor point here, we can right click and our new anchor point will be created here. If our layer is 3D and we have, for example, anchor point in this side, we can right click and our anchor point, our new null layer will become 3D too. Next, we have the camera, which is a cool preset. I will show you now. With a simple click, you will have your camera, as always in After Effects. And as you can see here, I can move it. Let's add a light first. Create a light layer. It's a very simple light layer. let's right click to make the light layer 100 intensity. Okay, and I will delete this layer. Now we've got the light layer and the camera layer. If we right click on the camera layer, we've got this cool camera controller. So now you can create amazing things here with your camera, and also you can animate the auto animation values. As you can see here, we've got the animation in values. Let's make a simple zoom in. Let's come to the first one. Come here, we can zoom in. Now you see we've got this cool animation. Also, we can rotate it to wherever we like from the beginning, like so. We can simply have this kind of animation without any keyframe. Then we can come to the constant movement and we can add some rotation from, let's say, this speed. And now our camera comes in and we've got this type of animation. Let's make this a little bit more. Of course, you can control the, let's make this -15. Okay, you can also have the zoom factor. So in this case, you can see we come right so, and we are zooming in. In this case, it's subtle, so it doesn't seem to, like so. And of course, you've got all the motion blur and depth of field options here. You can have it wiggly, like so. And of course, you can have an animation out. Let's make this, the animation out will happen right here. And let's click this. And let's have the animation out to zoom in. And we are done. So we've got this cool animation and now it goes out. Of course, you can select these both layers and you can alter the duration. I will go in depth for the camera as it is a cool feature that we like and will explain better. Let's again delete everything and create a new text layer. So now we go to the text box and text mask. So let's simply clicking the text box. As you can see, this will create a text box around our text and we can change the color of the box. We can also add the padding here, and of course we can have a stroke, we can have whatever you like here. You can make it round, you can make it normal, whatever you like. And the cool part is that this is procedural to text, as you can see here. Also, if you add Easy Animator on it, like let's make the position, and as you can see, this one comes in. Also, here you've got this refine in out. If we make this on 0, our text will have this cool effect here. Next, we've got the mask. I will delete this one. So as you can see now, my text has this cool animation. We can add the mask here. I'll right click, and now it created the mask, procedural to our text. And it will keep the animation in these boxes. And as you can see here, we need a simple dragging of the text. And now we've got a cool text mask, which I will go in depth again. Also, let's remove, so I need to select the layer. Let's remove all these animator presets. And now let's use the cool layer styles. If we click on this, you can see you will get this plugin. Let's add the drop shadow intensity and let's make the color, for example, white in this case, or red. It's better red. And now you can see you can have all the layer styles like these, all these properties into one, and you can use them wherever you like. We can add an inner shadow also. If we add, let's make this 0. Now we've got inner shadow, as you may notice. Let's see, add the solid, so you see. Here you can adjust the distance, the distance from the inner shadow, just like you would be with the layer styles. Imagine the possibilities you can have with this kind of tool. Okay, next we've got these cool effects right here, which we can add and open the adjustment layer presets. Now, for example, you've got some adjustment layer presets. In my example, I've got this one. I will right click and it will come with the RGB. This particular effect needs a pin controller, pin light, and you've got these cool RGB animators here, as you can see. But you can also create your own. So I will right click, new adjustment layer. Also, you can create it from here. And right click, create a distort effect. For example, let's add some warp. I'm sorry, not warp. Let's simply add turbulent displays, like so. And then if you right click and shift button, it will come up with the save exactly in the adjustment presets. You can save it and then with the right click here you can access it. Next we've got a really cool feature here, the glitcher and the matter. So for example, let's remove all Easy Animator Pro presets again, and we can now create a cool animator. Let's add this, for example, let's make a marker looper, simple marker looper. Let's add, and as you can see we've got this movement now. We can also, let's make this tightly. And now we can add our cool glitcher. So by simply clicking a left click, this will apply layer here, and now you can see this will glitch wherever you have movement. Now this will take a little bit longer to render. In this case we will need to make this, of course, 2D because we don't use the 3D options here. And also we can make the composition into quarter resolution, just for this example. Let's add a cool revealer. Let's make their text. Let's make the opacity to 0 at the beginning, but first let's move this to the bottom and let's make this opacity 0. And now you can see our animation will happen with a glitchy type. Of course, the possibilities are unlimited because you've got here for the glitch controls, you've got 35 maps to play with. For example, let's go to the number 6, and this will all update and create a new glitch type effect. Of course, they are unlimited because you can use as many animation presets as you like, and this will glitch any text, not only Easy Animator Pro. Next, again, let's remove all the Easy Animator presets from the layer. And next we've got the cool matter. If we right click here, this will import a matte effect right here. Let's make this, let's clean up a little bit the interface here. Okay. And now this created a folder which is named XFX Tools, and you've got your matte here. And as you can see, this matte will come and reveal your text, like so. Let's again, I will delete this one. And now let's have the text from this side. Again, if we right click, this will create our matte right about here. The matte has some textures, as you can see here, which you can play with, and also some properties, which you can adjust. I will go in depth for the matte and explain a little bit better. So pretty much, if you click here, of course, it will open my website portfolio. Of course, now we finished. I understand this is a very large tutorial for a quick overview, but believe me, when we go in depth for buttons, you will see that the possibilities are really unlimited. Thank you for watching.